Hi everyone, this is Arun. I am a software engineer currently in USA, and this presentation, as it says, is a personal finance Gyan by a software engineer. That's me. I plan to do a series on personal finance. My source of learning is through reading blogs or few books or my own experience on personal finance, savings, investing. So this is like the first part in the series of the presentation. This particular presentation is called Stages of Personal Finance. That is something that I thought of, and you should read the disclaimer. Like, I'm not an investment expert, so everything that you hear on this video, you should take it with a pinch of salt. So what this presentation is all about, um, as it says, it's just personal finance gyan, no strings attached. My source for this presentation is my own reading, my experience. I'm a software engineer by profession. And this particular presentation, I believe, will be read by Indian investors or Indian savers. And the examples that I've used in the presentation are mainly taken from India, like the interest rates I have taken or the currency rupees that I'll talk about. And although I feel that India would be my target, but even then these concepts are generic in nature and they can be applied globally, say in US. This particular presentation I want to cover stages of personal finance. So that is what I feel like. This is the maturity level every person goes through. First he is a spender, then he becomes balancer, then he becomes saver, then he becomes planner, and last but not the least he becomes investor. So one should be aware about where are you right now, and one should be true to yourself so that you can plan for your future. Before we start the actual presentation, I'll recommend you to get a pen and paper. I'm not going to do some fancy calculations, very minimal things, so you can manage through an Excel sheet also if you have handy. That is what I prefer rather than pen and paper. A few definitions when I say income. If you're single, it's your income. If you're married, it's combined income of you and your spouse. So if you're earning 5 lakhs per annum, that's your income. If you are married and you are earning 5 lakhs and your spouse is also earning 5 lakhs, then your income become is actually 10 lakhs. When I say savings, I mean all the short-term purposes that, for example, you have a savings account and you have some money in there, or you have some deposits, you have fixed deposit or recurring deposit. So savings are basically safe in nature and they have comparatively low returns, like 3% to 4% to 6%. When I say investment, I mean that is long term in nature and which is comparatively risky in nature. For example, mutual funds, ETFs, and equity are also known as shares. So they have comparatively high returns. Let's get on to the actual presentation that I plan to cover in this part is the stages of personal finance. So the first is net spender. Net spender is anyone who has an income which is less than his expense or who is spending more than what he's earning. For example, if somebody is earning 80 rupees or $80 and he is spending 100 rupees or $100, then he is a net spender. Come to think of it, we all have been net spenders, at least for first 20 years of our life when we were dependent on our parents, and in a way our parents sponsored our education and our day-to-day expenses. So at that time we all were net spenders. Now you may still be a spender, which is bad. Like if you have a job and if you fall in any of the below categories, then you must still be a spender. So let's say you have a mortgage or a home loan annual EMI that is 25% of your annual income. So as to say, if your income is 5 lakhs per annum and your mortgage annual EMI is, let's say, 1.25, that means you have taken a home loan more than 12 lakhs, then that may be or kind of overspending. And this 25% is my own limit. It is no industry standard. It is just I am a conservative spender or investor, so I like this 25% as a upper limit to how much mortgage I want to have. If you have any other loan, let's say you have a car loan or you have a personal loan, then again that is bad from your financial planning perspective. So you should probably get rid of that before you think of investing or saving. Or if your per month spending is more than your per month income, again that is bad. And for all of this, you should actually read somewhere on internet like how to get out of debt, and that is not going to be covered in this presentation, although I may make any future part of this series on that particular topic, how to get out of debt. But one good thing about learning is like you can still learn about investment while you are a net spender, but don't practice those uh, ideas yet till you reach that stage. Let's move on to the next stage of personal finance, which is net balancer. So as a net balancer, your income is equal to your expense. So you are earning 100 rupees or $100, and you are spending 100 rupees and $100. And come to think of it, this is how we were in our first few years of our job. When we got a new job, we had many wishes, long time dreams that we wanted to fulfill. And so whatever we were earning, we don't really save anything in first few months or first few years. So although the expense includes groceries, rents, electricity bills, we buy clothes, we go to movies, we travel places. So ultimately, whatever you are earning, you are spending. So saving is zero.